Larry Corwin, here today with Matt Strenzak on the December edition of the Highlander News. Today we'll interview Employee of the Month Mrs. Hedges, as well as Student of the Month Allison Stiefel. But first, Matt with a story on homecoming.
Amid the colorful leaves and crisp air of fall, there comes a time to honor the great tradition of homecoming. Masses of college students return to their tiny towns to celebrate Thanksgiving with loved ones. To honor their return, Berkeley Heights and Mountainside's GL Seniors class has planned a special spectacular event for tonight from November 26th from 7:30 to 10:30. This marks the annual Governor Livingston Homecoming Dance. College freshman Kim Giordano comments, "This will be so great to see everyone again. I can't wait." In preparation for this event, Senior Class Secretary Kiri Hirano mailed a letter to each graduate of the class of 1997. This letter personally invited each student back to GL. Senior Class President Bethany Carl has been in charge of this important dance preparations. She explains, "This year's theme is Suns, Moons, and Stars. We will be announcing senior superlatives during the evening. I hope that the night will be successful because we are trying to raise money for our senior class trip." The following day on Thanksgiving, the rough and tough Governor Livingston football squad will line up against Arthur L. Johnson on Frey Field, accumulating 2 days of high-impact school pride. And now to Larry with a story on painting lockers here at GL.
Actually, that one's going to be on the Teen Arts Festival. The PTA is sponsoring a Teen Arts Festival at GL, which will be held Friday, March 27th and Saturday, March 28th. On Friday, a reception, an exhibition, and performances will be held. Saturday will feature an exhibition and performances only. Anyone who wants to submit creative writing, poetry, or stories, or visual arts for the exhibition is welcome to do so. Now let's go to Chris Schnackenberg, who's talking to Ms. Eric about the Teen Arts Festival.
Hi, I'm Chris Schnackenberg here with Mrs. Eric to talk a little bit about Teen Arts. Hi, Mrs. Eric, how are you?
I'm fine, Chris.
Why don't you talk about Teen Arts a little bit for us?
Well, Teen Arts has been around for, I would say, close to 25 years, our local Teen Arts Festival. It's Governor Livingston's turn this year to service the host school, so of course it's going to be really good.
How does one get into Teen Arts?
Teen Arts, you enter by application. There will be announcements on the morning announcements saying when you could pick up applications in the main office. If you're doing artwork, you could only enter 2 pieces. I believe you could only enter 2 performances too. So, and there's also creative writing and poetry and music. So whatever you want to enter, you just have to meet the deadline, pick up your application, hand it in by the deadline, and you could be in Teen Arts Festival.
Will other schools be participating?
Yes. Our local Teen Arts Festival is New Providence, Berkeley Heights, and Summit. And it's the middle schools and the high school, and I believe some of the parochial schools and private schools do participate. I'm not quite sure, though.
How does Teen Arts benefit the artist involved?
Well, it gives you an opportunity to perform before an audience. That's one thing. It gives you an opportunity to have somebody critique your work who is a professional artist or musician or actor. And it gives people the opportunity to see what you can do.
Do you think first-time artists or presenters would be a good opportunity to go out and start?
This is such a fun activity that I think that everybody who wants to enter it should, whether you're a freshman or a senior.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Mrs. Eric.
Can I say one other thing?
Sure.
There will also be a county Teen Arts Festival, and that will be held, I believe, the week before our Teen Arts Festival. So when you hear the morning announcements, make sure that you pick up applications for either one of the festivals or both of the festivals.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now let's go back to Matt. Tell us a little about the Gifted and Talented program.
All right. Recently in GL, G&T projects have begun to take shape. One is a paintball club. As a gifted and talented senior, Larry Corwin and junior Mike Lynn created the paintball club. "I wanted to give others the opportunity to enjoy the excitement and thrills of paintball," said Corwin. Paintball is a game where you fire gelatin balls with carbon dioxide propulsion. A total of 25 members have joined the club this year. On October 26th, the club sponsored its first paintball depot in Hackettstown. 53 students, parents, and siblings attended. It was raining and cold, but everyone seemed to enjoy themselves, and it was a great success, said Corwin. This club has plans to play indoor in the winter. Another project is the Wind Ensemble. As a gifted and talented project, junior Anne-Marie Calabrese has taken the task of forming a wind ensemble. Along with jazz music, will also include a touch of classical and chamber music. Although Governor Livingston does offer the #1 marching band on the East Coast, its musical program does lack a jazz band. Many students who are involved in jazz bands at their primary and elementary schools do not currently have the option to continue in that musical field. With 16 people so far signed up to play in the band, hopes to include a charity work at Sage, a recital at the Mall in Short Hills, and a public performance in the Governor Livingston Auditorium. In other news, JROTC attended a training camp at Fort Dix on a weekend adventure trip. From October 31st to November 2nd, cadets were scheduled to participate in land navigation and obstacle course activities, but due to rain, these events were unable to be held. In their place, cadets took courses indoors, including CPR, drills and ceremonies, map reading, knot tying, one-rope bridge, and radio transmission operations. In the CPR classes, cadets used models to perfect their life-saving techniques. At the drill and ceremonies class, proper technique of drill was taught with weapons. Major Smith conducted the map reading class, in which cadets learned to read map and pinpoint specific locations. Machine gunnery sergeant taught cadets to make switch seats in the knot tying class, and GL's First Sergeant Rodriguez demonstrated how to make a one-rope bridge. Military communication systems were used in the radio transmission class. On the last night of camp, cadets enjoyed a pizza party and social event. Despite the bad weather, all the cadets had a lot of fun. The majority of students would like to return. Let's go back to Larry.
Thanks, Matt. The Rotary Club recently treated honorees of the Student of the Month Award at Steak and Ale. On Monday, November 17th, the Rotary Club of Mountainside took Governor Livingston's Students of the Month out for lunch at the Steak and Ale. Lauren Gaffney, Amy Chen, and Allison Stiefel, students honored in September, October, and November, were accompanied by Mrs. Paula Eric at the 1.5-hour lunch meeting. After formal business, the meeting was turned over to Mrs. Eric, and the students shared their accomplishments and college plans with club members. Each student received a Certificate of Achievement and Rotary International keychain. The Rotary Club is composed of business people from the Mountainside area. The organization, which undertakes numerous community service projects, is in its second year of Student of the Month activities. Let's go back to Matt.
Now to a new segment of our program, we will go over recent GL Club activities. One club is the Values and Diversities, who advisors are Mrs. Ort and Mr. McKinney. The Values and Diversity Club is planning to have an active year this year at GL. The club's goals are to work to eliminate prejudice and teach tolerance to the student body. Their first activity was a pizza party meeting and had a good turnout of people. Then on October 27th, the members of the club attended Diversity 2000, a peer leadership training conference at a local high school. There were speakers, and then the students got into groups to discuss what leaders should do and should not do. This also gave members of the club the opportunity to talk to students from different schools and to find out what other Values and Diversities clubs do and how they run. This is a relatively new club at GL since it only has been here for 3 years. They would like to sponsor a speaker to teach students not to be prejudiced. They would also like to go to elementary or middle schools and do a workshop on hatred. There would be skits and discussions to help younger students understand about racism. And another club at GL is the Environmental Club. Its advisor is Mrs. Quinlan, and the president is Kaori Harano. The vice president is Malav Kanuga, the secretary is Allison Koch, and the treasurer is Karen Berkowitz. The main project of the Environmental Club is to run the recycling program at GL. Paper, cans, bottles get recycled twice a month at Berkeley Heights. And the members of the club would like to participate and help bring yellow and blue bins to the IMC for recycling. The Environmental Club would like to remind everyone that the blue bins are for paper only, and that the yellow bins are for cans and bottles. The club also plans to resume the Passaic River project soon. The project involves checking the river periodically to see if it is clean. If it is not clean, they try to clean it up by going to local factories and trying to find out the cause of the pollution. The club just completed a T-shirt fundraiser, and the money will be donated to an environmental organization selected by club members. The club is also looking forward to the annual environmental fair at the end of the year. And the final club is FBLA. Its advisor is Mr. Hubert. Its co-presidents are Amy Chen and Mike Lin. Its treasurer is Bob Phillips. And the historian is Chris Anders. FBLA, the Future Business Leaders of America, has held several meetings so far this year. At this point, they are finishing collection of dues and starting to plan for the regionals in January. At the regional, the 15 attending FBLA members will take tests in different businesses, disciplines such as math, word processing, and accounting. This is the qualifying competition for the states that will take place in March. They are looking forward to the states, which is a 2-day overnight business competition and leadership conference. FBLA sent its officers to a fall leadership conference in Woodbridge last month where they listened to seminars. The club is also planning for some fundraisers in the near future. Let's go to Rob Kampour, who is interviewing Employee of the Month, Mrs. Hedges.
Hi, I'm Rob Kampour here with Mrs. Hedges, November Employee of the Month. How are you doing?
Hello.
Okay. Why don't you start about what you do here at GL?
Okay. I teach Latin and English at Governor Livingston. I teach Latin 1, 2, and a 3-4 combination. I have sophomore honors English.
So you have a pretty busy schedule.
Yes.
What do you think of the environment you're in, like the surroundings?
I think it's a wonderful school system. I have taught in other schools. I've been at Eastern Regional High School in South Jersey, and I also taught at Dayton for a number of years. And I find Governor Livingston to really be a school that gives students a chance to do a variety of things. I mean, just this program itself gives them a chance to explore various aspects of what they want to do in the future, and I think it's a very good environment. A lot of respect for the students and the faculty.
Okay, now you were notified that you're Employee of the Month. How did they come about doing that?
At the November faculty meeting, they selected a foreign language teacher, and this year, or this month, they announced it. Mr. Jones announced it at the faculty meeting. I was pleasantly surprised.
Do you think it's an accomplishment or like kind of like a personal goal that you were looking forward to? Or?
Well, I think it's very nice to be recognized by my peers, because that's really what it is. The faculty votes and selects, although students can also select the Employee of the Month if they let it be known to administration. But normally it is done through faculty, and it's nice to be appreciated by the people that you work with.
Yeah. If there's anything about your surroundings or the school program itself that you could change, what would you do and why?
Well, I really don't see any major changes that need to be made. I think we've all gone through enough changes at this point, and I think that makes it more difficult. But as far as the classes and things, it would be good to have more students in the Latin program. I'm always looking to increase the Latin program, and to let people know that Latin is certainly alive and well here at Governor Livingston.
Well, is there anything else like towards your classes that you need or that you recommend that they have to go on in the future, or?
No, not really. The classes are really very good. The program is a very traditional program in Latin, and the sophomore English program, I know that we will be working on the curriculum this summer to improve it, but as it stands, it gives a nice exploration of various genres of literature, and the students do get a good background. I have many students that contact me through email, and they've told me that they feel that they had a very good foundation through Governor Livingston. And some of the things I've told them in class, they've even commented that at first they didn't believe it would be true, but now that they're actually writing all these papers that I've told them they would be writing, that yes, they are using what's done in the classroom, in the college classroom as well. So I think that the programs really are very good here at Governor Livingston.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay.
I'm Rob Campora. This is Mrs. Hedges. Have a good day.
Thanks, Rob. Now let's move on to sports. Recently, the Lady Highlander soccer team played in the quarterfinal round of the North Jersey Section 2 Group 2 tournament. That game was on November 6th against Arthur L. Johnson. Lost a tight game, 1-0. In better news, cross country finished third in the Mountain Valley Conference. On Thursday, October 23rd, at the MVC Championships in Basking Ridge, the team placed third out of 7 teams with an overall score of 89, losing to Johnson, missing out in second place by only 2 points. Senior Mike Brett said, "We're a little disappointed in our third place finish." Now let's move on to Jerry Tan with Allison Stiefel, November Student of the Month.
We're here with Student of the Month for November, Allison Stiefel, and we're going to get to know her a little better. How are you today?
I'm good.
So first off, how did you achieve your award?
I'd say I probably got Student of the Month for all the work I do on stage crew and yearbook and through Latin Club, and last year working on the State Board of Latin, like JCL.
So would you like to go into some of your extracurricular activities? What do you do?
In college, I might, as just like a club activity, work on stage and stuff like that, but I'm not going to pursue any of them as a career.
So where do you feel you've made the biggest impact on the school?
Well, I'm known most for what I do on stage. People know me the most for on stage, but this year I've worked the hardest on yearbook. Every day I work on yearbook. That's what I've worked the hardest on, but I'm definitely probably known for what I do on the stage.
Great. So who broke the news to you, and what was your initial reaction?
It's actually a pretty funny story. I was called down third period a couple weeks ago, and Mr. Jones' secretary, Mrs. Seavey, called me down, and Mr. Jones screamed from his office. He was like, "Allison, get in here!" And I was like, "Oh, geez, I must be in trouble." And he's like, "Congratulations, you got Student of the Month." So I was really happy, but I was really surprised.
Yeah. So if there's one thing about the school you'd like to change immediately, what would it be?
I'd really have to say I wouldn't want to change anything. I really love GL. I love the atmosphere. I love the teachers. I love everything about GL right now.
Now I understand your family has a history of doing volunteer work in this school. Could you tell us a little about this?
Well, it started when my brother was a freshman. He graduated in '94. When he was a freshman, he got involved in the theater work here, and my father came to help him out, and my father got really involved with it, so they've both been working on it. My brother got Student of the Month when he was here, his senior year, and then I got it my senior year, and we've all kind of like worked together in it.
All right, now as a senior, this is your last year in GL, and like what fields do you plan to pursue in the future?
Right now I teach children at my church, and I'd love to go working, like as a career working with children, and I love psychology, so I think I'm going to major in psychology and minor in elementary education.
All right, thanks a lot, Allison.
No problem.
Student of the Month.
Thank you, Jerry. Now a story on the band. A band captured the ACC title. Not only was the Governor Livingston Highlander Marching Band able to keep its pride afloat to surprise the band season, but it emerged as one of the most successful school activities this fall. Few other GL organizations have surrounded themselves with consistent wins and first-place trophies in 1997, and this undefeated group of talented students. On Sunday, November 8th, the band made a long bus ride to Scranton, Pennsylvania to compete with over 28 other schools from states as far as Virginia. These Atlantic Coast Championships, which are sponsored by the Tournament of Bands, are the final chance for bands to prove themselves in tough competition. After GL's best performance of the year, the band lined up on the far sideline, faced the audience, and waited for the rigid award ceremony to begin. Governor Livingston Bands, as always, refused to crack a smile when the first place flag was handed over to drum major Major Eric Dan. Caramel flashes and cheers rose from the crowd as the highest score in school's history, 97.5, was announced. It also marked the second highest score in TOB history for any band in Group 1. Even more amazingly, the band edged out its second place the winner by a whopping 2.9 points, the largest point margin ever since 1983. The special awards taken home by Berkeley Heights were high marching and high music. The band members left this competition with their heads high and their flags trophies under their arms, while the spectators surrounded the walkway and shouted congratulations. On the following Sunday in Giant Stadium, GL competed in the Cadets Marching Band Cooperative. It has a different set of rules and judging techniques than the TOB. At around 11 p.m., the band performed strongly and received a score of 90.9 in Group 2, tying with Waterbury for the first place award. The Color Guard also received the special award for High Auxiliary, or Best Color Guard. The win at Giant Stadium concludes all contests for the Highlanders. Katie Porch, section leader in the band, said, "Even though it was hard work, it was all worth it, especially to have wins as a senior." The victorious marching band is also known everywhere for its disciplined and confident attitude. In only 10 years, it has swept away its contenders and ranked 13 championship titles. It has been on top of these ranks only twice since 1979, making the band a steady top contender. If one asked any band member what it felt like to be rewarded after 3 months of intense practice, that student would most likely smile and say that every moment was worth it. When asked to put the entire season in perspective, sophomore Deborah Fisher replied, "We improved tremendously from August to November, and we really put it all together." Band members will remain content with their double wins this autumn. They were able to bring back the titles that were lost 4 years ago and have added vigor to the morale of each member. If the band maintains its momentum, it has a strong chance of winning again next year. On Thanksgiving morning, the Highlanders will perform their field show during halftime at GL Johnson game. This will mark the final performance of the landmark 1997 season. Now to the members of the Lit Mag.
Hi, my name is Miss Sample, and I'm a new English teacher here at GL, as well as the new literary magazine advisor. And what we'd like to do today is just tell you a little bit about our group and the Lit Mag, and perhaps what we can do to start us off is just tell our audience here how each one of us has gotten involved with the Lit Mag.
Okay, I'll introduce myself. I'm Allison Kelman. I'm one of the 3 editors. And, well, freshman year, it was really tough because my brother was a senior and he was Mr. Lit Mag boy, and so I didn't really want to be associated with him. So I submitted, but I didn't really come to the meeting because, I don't know, it was just really intimidating and I didn't want to be perceived as little Kelman. There was like a whole bunch of things. But sophomore year, because Emily was really involved, she sort of got me involved too. And then, I don't know, it just got cool. It was fun to do, so that's how I got
because
involved.
of me.
Yeah, that's all because of you,
Because of me. I got involved my freshman year. Was the babe in the freshman, the little baby. But I guess I had a friend who was a senior that year, and she was involved in it, and she kind of, she didn't force it on me, but she just sort of said, "Hey, you're doing Lit Mag." And she just kind of brought me in, I met a lot. I met Allison's brother, and I could see why she was intimidated by being in the group. And I don't know, it was just neat. We did a lot of stuff. We had a lot of parties and fun stuff, and it was just neato. So I guess I started submitting then. I didn't have much stuff published my freshman year. Last year I started I had a couple things maybe last year, and this year we just sort of took over because all the seniors left that had originally done it. So that's it. No big story. Leah?
Well, let's see. I went my freshman year to one of the meetings, and I was actually really intimidated, and I didn't end up coming back. And then, to tell you the truth, I was really scared. I don't know.
Why are people so
Big,
intimidated?
scary seniors.
I mean, you're
They're not
intimidated
anymore.
because you didn't think they would like your writing, or
I don't know. I didn't even write till sophomore
Do you know
year.
what it is?
I did art.
I didn't know that.
I think there were some really, really amazing, even better, abnormally amazing writers. Maybe my freshman year.
I never wrote anything until sophomore year.
And I know that that's why I felt intimidated, but I didn't care because I love to read everybody's writing.
Yeah.
But now we have a group that's not so intimidating.
It's not. And I wonder if that's
Not
like.
at all. So
If that's a good thing.
I know. Maybe if our writing was like, I don't know. I don't know if that's a reflection on our writing or not, but
yeah.
Yes,
Keep
well,
going.
you can
wait.
Oh, sorry. Perhaps what Allison can do is just to tell us then a little bit about the purpose.
Can I
of
first
the
ask if you were involved in your high school?
That's
lit
all
mag?
right. I wasn't involved in my high school literary magazine, although we had a lit mag that was published twice a year, and as you're saying, we had well-respected students' writings and artwork involved in it, and so it was something that was perceived to be a very nice showcase, and it was a nice credit to
You mean
people
really
who got
formal?
involved. It was more formal, I think.
Ours
than
is a little
perhaps
bit.
Ours.
We don't really. We don't. A lot of schools have theirs published at a publisher. We do ours ourselves.
Right.
It's a lot of grunt work and a lot of
Because I think that sort of almost feeds into the purpose of the lit mag.
Yeah.
Because it was really, it is to showcase students and have a place for them to get their work critiqued, but it's also to create an atmosphere where you feel like you can go with other people that write and
an art community.
Yeah, and
The
our
whole art
community, basically, and that's the idea. That's why we have the parties in addition to. We're not a newspaper. We're not just focusing on an end result. It's the process as well.
Yeah.
In a social atmosphere.
We do a lot of hanging out. Yeah, a lot of hanging out
Is what
And
we're
sharing.
getting to the point at. Sharing and critiquing.
And being silly.
How would someone submit? Maybe you can tell us, Emily.
Well, basically, we just have envelopes in a lot of the writing. In the writing center, we have one. In a lot of the English rooms, we have them. And they just say, submit here to LitMag. And it's just, you can put your writing in them. Some teachers don't want their students, they're afraid the writing will get lost. And if that's the case, they can submit to any one of us.
Yep.
And if you don't submit it directly to Ms. Sample, then we don't read it. If you submit it to us, we give it directly to her so that she can take the names off, and so everything's judged anonymously. So that way we don't know. We don't want to be unfair.
And perhaps maybe Leah can fill us in on what a typical meeting would be for us as a group.
Okay. We usually either meet at somebody's house or we meet in the writing center, and there's food.
There's food.
Because you need some kind of fuel to get your mind right.
Some nourishment.
Yeah.
And we make you work for your food sometimes.
Yeah. Bark like a seal. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, well, we're not that. Okay. Anyway, so there's food, and we basically just pass around all the writing we have. We discuss it. We just talk about the writing and the artwork. Our first meeting, what did we do? We had
icebreakers.
Yeah, we had icebreakers.
We all said, what did we say?
What our favorite type of underwear was. Which was really good actually because you felt
silly.
Personally closer to someone. Some of it you just didn't need to know. But that was okay.
But we had set up our plans for the upcoming year and events and things and meetings and so forth, and decided who was going to be on
everyone's
layout
schedule
and checked with schedules, and so therefore, there is a way in which we try to judge writings in some sort of format or an anonymous way.
And we try to have meetings. Did you say this? We try to have meetings twice a month or so.
Yeah.
And we
wish we could have more, but it's just the schedule, and there's not even that much to do.
Yeah, not until it comes down to the time when you're actually putting it all together. But our major meeting is just deciding what goes in, and everything's discussed. So if you put something in, you know it's going to be considered.
Yep. And how often do we try to publish something too?
Last year we did 4. Right. 2, 3. But this year there's a lot of conflicting schedules, so we're 2 or 3.
We're aiming probably for 3. We hope we can get 3, but we'll definitely get 2.
Right.
So.
Okay, well hopefully we just encourage people to get involved, certainly if they don't necessarily want to be a member of the staff, but certainly to submit work at all different grade levels.
And even if you're not in LitMag, you can still, even if you're not technically in LitMag, you can still come to a meeting, even if you don't even want to be in LitMag, if you just want to see how your writing was critiqued, or I don't know what, anything.
Yeah, and to be in LitMag, you don't have to write or do art. If you just want to be involved in that sort of community, That's cool
So
too.
anybody can
In
come.
other words, we
We have
don't
a
bite.
great mix.
We don't
Not
bite.
intimidating anymore.
It should be our new motto. We don't bite.
Because my freshman year,
Oh,
I was
my
so
goodness.
scared away by Paul Cook or
Paul?
Yeah, he
so
scared
funny.
me, and so I never
Leah.
went back to a meeting. And then I took creative writing. Mr. Shawcross submitted my stuff without
Paul?
telling me.
Yeah, that's how we got a lot of people.
Yeah,
involved.
Yeah.
he just didn't tell me. And then Helen came up to me and she's like, "Well, you're in the Lit Mag now." Like, so.
All right. So we all cool?
You're on the Twins of GL.
Well, it's good to have someone your own age to, I don't know, you can kind of relate to each other better. And since we're in the same classes, it's good because we can help each other out with the schoolwork. And
it's a lot of fun because like we have a lot in we're like best friends and we have like the same friends and everything, and it's just good to have someone like your own age, like because like when we were younger we always got to play with each other, we didn't have to worry about that, and it's a lot of fun.
How does it feel to be twins and have a twin?
Hi, I'm a twin. How does it feel to be a twin? It feels okay. We share things all the time. Sometimes we have to use a bathroom at the same time, which is weird. But it's okay.
Any comment?
Ditto. Sometimes it's annoying because you're kind of looking in a mirror most of the time.
Any comment?
I think it's fun sometimes because you always like have a friend that's there, but other times it gets annoying because like sometimes like you want to separate a little bit and like do your own thing sometimes, like have your own friends.
So you consider yourself good friends?
Yeah, we are. We're always together. Yeah, all the time. We have like a lot of the classes together, and we can go over homework.
Do you two hang out at all?
All the time.
So do you consider yourself good friends?
Yeah.
How good?
Is this the one that's going to be on TV? No, right?
Do you two have any telecommunopathic links or anything?
Telecommunopathic.
Well,
Reuben pickle?
well, we have to use the bathroom at the same time sometimes.
Can you two feel each other's pain or read each other's thoughts?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, sometimes. I feel his pain, I feel
that
his emotion.
psychedelic era, we definitely can.
Yeah, definitely, man. All the synapses in our brain, since we toy with them often, definitely there's a link there somewhere.
Okay. And do you two have any like telepathic links? Feel each other's pain?
Oh, yeah, the pain thing, yeah. And also, if she's singing a song or something, like in her head, or she's singing something herself, she's upstairs and I'm downstairs, It'll be we're like singing the same thing.
Song or
Yeah, or she's a stomach ache, I have a stomach ache, stuff like that.
Sometimes we do think alike because we're around the same environment, so like it's kind of the same thing sometimes. Yeah.
Do you two have any telepathic links that you know of? Like, do you feel each other's pain or you know what each other's going through?
No.
No stomach pains when each other has stomach cramps or anything?
Not really.
I don't know, didn't you say once when I got hurt you kind of felt it?
not really. It's just, I don't know. A lot of people ask us if, when she gets hurt, do I feel it? It's not really.
Maybe like the best is like you can sense something's wrong, but that's like about it.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Have a nice day.
Thanks.
Forget about me. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. Don't you forget about me. Will you stand above me? Look my way, never love me. Rain keeps falling down.
And that will do it for December's edition of the Highlander News. I'm Larry Corwin for new co-host Matt Stranzak. Have a good vacation.
Good morning, I'm Josie Scasso.
And I'm Brian DeVito, and we're from Mrs. Toast's Gourmet Cuisine class.
Today we will be demonstrating chocolate mocha parfait.
The word for this ice cream dessert is the French word meaning perfect. The recipe doesn't consist of ice cream, so today we will be using vanilla and chocolate whipped cream.
Our main utensil is the electric mixer. It's always important to place the beaters in before you plug it in.
People may think that beating the cream for a longer period of time will make it more thicker or fluffier, but it may cause it to become too dry or even too thick.
Okay. So we're going to be using Dream Whip as the vanilla whipped cream. So, okay. I don't know what to say during this. 1 envelope of the Dream Whip. You must follow the directions for each because they're different name brands. So the 1 envelope of the Dream Whip. And a 1/2 cup of cold milk. And a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Now the glasses over here, this is usually what a parfait glass looks like, but you can also use any type of glass because it's a layered dessert with different creams, and it looks really pretty when you eat them. All right, we have to beat this for 4 minutes, so while we're beating, we're gonna put up the recipe and the instructions. So take out a pen and pencil and take down the recipe. Are we on? Go. Okay. This is the vanilla cream mixture, and now we must make the chocolate. So just put this to the side, and put the chocolate, that bowl, in the front. We are using a chocolate mousse, which makes it, I don't know, thicker. It's nice. Okay. And you can use any chocolate mousse, and they all have different instructions. This one, just place the chocolate.
2/3 cold milk.
Yeah, and 2/3 cold milk. They're pretty easy instructions because everything's in there already. And for this,
beat on medium speed electric mixer for 1 minute.
this is only going to take about 2 minutes. So we'll put up the recipe again, and then we'll come back and finish. All right. The next step into the vanilla whipped cream, you add a tablespoon of coffee. Could be any kind of coffee. You could even put decaf. Probably not flavored coffee because it's going to have its own flavoring with the mocha. You could probably put hazelnut or French vanilla. And then you just, do you want to do this? Hold on. To fold it. Do this. Also, it calls for a tablespoon of brandy, but
Teachers won't let us use it.
yeah, teachers, we're not allowed to use alcohol in, of course, high school. So we're going to use imitation rum extract and about probably half a teaspoon because it could get, you know, if it's too much, it might not taste right. So keep mixing it because the coffee, try to mix while you're doing the vanilla mixture with the coffee. Make sure that like all the grinds are mixed well into the vanilla mixture because then you'll have the little specks of coffee. But usually everything blends well. And it'll turn into like a beige.
Dark color, so.
Yeah, it won't be as white as it was in the beginning. Remember we're supposed to, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So what do we do? Okay. What are we going to do, Brian?
Fold half of it into a...
Oh, we missed. We should have made it go back. We messed up. Oh, well. Okay. Okay, talk. Until we have to layer it.
Now we have to layer the cream.
Here's the chocolate mousse. You can all see that. Now you can layer it any way that you want. And also you could, while you're you could garnish it. We're going to garnish it with walnut halves. You could, while you're putting the mousse in, put the walnuts and then the coffee mixture and just you know, level them all out instead of just garnishing it on the top. It doesn't really matter if you really like walnuts. Should I use a spoon? Yeah, I think so. It doesn't.
No walnuts.
No, not yet.
On top of that.
Okay. Bring it over here. Okay, this is our finished product, chocolate mocha parfait. Would you like to taste it?
Got this.
Okay. Good.
Very good.
Okay.
Well, thank you for tuning in to our little demonstration, and I hope you have a nice day. I'm Brian DeVito.
I'm Josie Scasso.
And thank you for watching.